Tim Kamczyc from Strongsville, just in Cleveland State's backyard pretty much. Well, you had an interesting journey to come to Cleveland State. Came as a walk-on to begin with, earned your 4-year scholarship, wanted to maybe be a football player in high school. Tell me about that journey and you ultimately winding up here playing basketball for the Vikings.
Went through the whole recruiting process in high school, played basketball and football. I kind of, at an early point in my career, decided, I wanted to play football. So anybody that kind of talked to me for basketball, I said, I'm a football player. Kind of didn't keep my options open. For my football recruiting kind of fell through. Didn't get the offer that I wanted, and so I ended up calling up Coach D, asking if there was still an opportunity for me to play, and he kind of tried to talk me out of it a little bit, saying I should go to Akron or Kent State where they had a football program and a basketball team, try your options both ways. But at that point I was kind of dead set on basketball, kind of fed up with football, and I told him, when do you guys start? If the opportunity is available, I want to come and play at Cleveland State. And
it's really worked out well for you here on more than just one level. Obviously your basketball career has been very good, but your academic career as well. You got your undergrad in 3.5 years. This is your 5th year in the program. You're going to have your master's degree when this year is over with. Not a lot of people play basketball, which takes a lot of time, and wind up with 2 degrees when they leave the university. That's got to make you feel, I don't know what the word is for it, special, accomplished. You hit your goals, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's something that I'm definitely proud of. When I came to the decision to end up going into the master's program, I was deciding between whether I should double major or minor, but I think I kind of decided that the most effective use of my time would be to go into the master's program, and it's been difficult, but you kind of work through it.
Tim, you talked about football too. I see a lot of a quarterback on the floor when you're out there. I see Coach Waters using you in a lot of quarterback positions. You always trigger the ball on the inbound and the full court press. A lot of times breaking the press, then they'll use you at midcourt. And recently I've seen a couple of guys just turn and throw it without even looking, just kind of knowing where you're supposed to be, and they rely on you to make that catch. Tell me about that football mindset that you use on the basketball court.
I think it's something that I've definitely brought here with me. Part of it, probably the decision process. As a quarterback, you have to make on-the-fly decisions, calculating different things, and so I think that's definitely something that I brought here with my game. And also I think there's a physicalness and toughness aspect that comes with being a football player, and the mindset that you're going to get hit, you're going to get roughed up, and just kind of take the punches and move forward.
You're the only senior on this year's team, and a 5th-year senior, and I remember talking to Coach Waters before the season, and he said he needs you to be that leader, and he said, boy, Tim really, he wants to be that leader. He's embraced that role. What led to your, I guess, getting to that point where you know that you're kind of the coach on the floor?
I think when I got here and kind of found myself in a more comfortable role, playing more consistent minutes, probably my redshirt sophomore year, and I kind of used that as being, side by side with Norris, and kind of like a floor general where he was making a lot of the decisions, but I was the next guy in line to try and decide offense and defense. And I pride myself on being a player that can think on the floor and trying to calculate the best opportunities for our team and things like that.
I remember when you played with Norris Cole too, and I said this several times on the air, that you two had a nice chemistry. I mean, when you play the 2-man game, it's like same thing. You could pass the ball without even looking. Norris knew where you were. You knew where he was. What did you learn playing with Norris Cole?
Just some of the things that, Norris is an all-around great person. His personality and the characteristics that he lives his life by, something you really just, try and model yourself after. And off the court, we were really good friends. We're still good friends. We talk, him, myself, DeAndre, we were kind of the crew that ran together when they were here. So on the court made it a lot easier. We could kind of think of what each other wanted to do, set each other up and stuff like that.
This year now, you've become in many ways a focal point. Other defenses are focusing on you, where in years past you had some other guys like Norris and Trey who would hit the outside shot. Occasionally that would get you open. Now it's like you're almost never open. You've got to find ways to get open. The few times you are, you've got to really take advantage of those. But that difference for you, Tim, of being a guy who was a solid role player with them to now being more of a focal point this year on this team, tell me about that process, what you had to go through to become the player you are now.
I think it's it's a pretty big adjustment. I mean, you know, in years past, I've had a player on the inside that could dominate, and like you said, I wasn't the main focus as a shutdown player, so a lot of teams were giving me, the open shot as opposed to, sinking off of Trey or Norris or somebody. So it's definitely a big adjustment. You kind of got to figure it out. I've had a period of time where I've been struggling earlier, and you try and develop different things, and I think most of the time when I'm on the court, I'm just trying to think of making the right basketball play. Regardless of what happens or who scores points or whatever it is, I just want to make the right basketball play.
You've spent a lot of time here in this program. This is your 5th year. You've seen a lot. You've played with a lot of different players. You've learned a lot. What's the thing that you're going to take with you once you graduate this year from playing for Gary Waters at Cleveland State?
I think Coach Waters does a great job of talking to us about more than just basketball and getting us prepared for things in our life that we're going to have to face once basketball is over with, regardless of how long you play. And so I think a lot of the characteristics that he lives his life by and being disciplined, stuff like that, that'll really stick with me.
Looking back at your decision to come here, was it the right decision?
Of course. I think with the success that we've had and I'm happy with the situation that I'm in. I don't like to look back, and a lot of people ask me, do you think you should have played football? And with the success that I've had here, I don't think I could say I would change anything.
Off the court, Tim, I know you like to do a lot of different things. What's some of your favorite things to do?
I'm a video gamer. Yeah. My favorite video game is Call of Duty, so I probably spend most of my time off the court, doing that.
Well, most of the guys said that Sebastian Douglas is tough to beat in Call of Duty, but he says you're the guy that he has trouble with in that. Now, so you guys are like the two that really go at it. You have like a 4-hour marathon the other day?
Yeah, it's been a battle. That's one of the video games that most of the team plays, and even guys past. It was just something that we've all kind of connected with, and there's always an argument of who's the best, but I think I'm the top right now.
And we're going to go with that too. You being the top, you're the senior. When you play those games or when you do things off the court, how much does that play a role then on the court with you guys spending that time and building those relationships?
I think that's definitely a huge part of it. Like I said, I mean, in years past, Norris, DeAndre, myself, the chemistry that's built, not on the court, but off the court, doing things together, spending time together, I think that's really valuable, and just understanding a person as a whole, and then you can kind of figure out, what type of things they want to do in basketball, and so I think it makes playing together a lot easier.
This year's team has had some ups and some downs, had some big wins like the win against Detroit, a team that many think are going to go to the NCAA tournament. Where can this team go this year?
I think we have a very positive stance, and we're looking forward. We're taking each game, we're trying to learn from each game, trying to work out some kinks that have bothered us in games past, and like you said, we've had some ups and downs. We're just trying to keep moving forward.
When this year is over with, what's next for Tim Kamczyc?
I think I'd like to play overseas. Hopefully I get that opportunity. Also, I'm getting my master's in international business, so I'm planning on going to work and live overseas anyway. So.
All right, we hope to still see you around the Wolstein Center on occasion.
I'll be back. I'll definitely be back.
All right.